We're live.
Hello, everybody. It's Nancy and Dorothy on the momentous stellium day. And we're going to, a couple things. Don't give Dorothy rising signs. That's really more information than you want the world to know about you. And if you don't know enough about astrology to understand that, then you need to take Dorothy's class so you'll understand it. Really. I mean, it's like opening up, that's like opening your heart up to everything, and that's not a good thing to do in public space.
Yeah.
The second thing is we're going to try something new today, and that's not a good thing.
There we go.
Turn your phone off, Dorothy.
I did. Well, I want to watch. The thing is, on my channel, it's hard to talk and look at. I just can't do it.
And I'm going to show you this. We're going to try a poll, and it says, "Be honest. How are you handling Aries fire?" And you can enter 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the in the chat, and it's supposed to rack it up. It's supposed to tell us. So if you want to participate and you don't have a comment, look, we already got one. They're trying. They're trying to stay balanced.
Trying to stay balanced. Good. Yeah, that is good.
So we're going to see. Yeah. That's 100% of you are trying to stay balanced. Anyway.
It's hard. There's just so much going on these days. And the way we jumped right into the intro, that's incredible Aries energy to begin with, Nancy Jean and everybody. It's like, they're like, what are you talking about? What? We just got here.
I know.
And that's how we feel. Because, the sun in the sky has been in Aries since March 19th. And so was it the 19th or the 20th this year? Oh my God, I don't remember. It was the 20th. And sometimes it shifts. It's not a midnight thing. It shifts. It varies from year to year between the 19th or the 20th, mainly the 20th. Point is, the sun's in Aries. Saturn and Neptune have been in Aries for a while. They made their connection at 0 degrees of Aries on February 20th. And that actually was the start of what we're living through. That's in those planets, when we have those two in Aries, that Neptune in Aries is, so we'll talk about all the planets that are coming together in this Aries vibe. I do have a video on that on my YouTube channel, everybody, so go check it out. It's a long one too, and it talks about what everything we're going to explain today is, as well as if you know what house it is in for you,
Right.
And that's the hard part if you don't know astrology, how to figure that piece out. But anyways, the thing is like this, and we've had lots of different vibes of different things happening, but the Saturn Neptune at 0 Aries began on February 20th when they finally came together. They were really close in July of 2025, but this is it. And so we're starting this, Saturn in Aries, it's just feeling the need for us, for the steps that you take forward, right? Where you feel like you want to be assertive, but doing it in a very grounded and practical way. And I know that doesn't sound like those work together, but they do, because the Saturn is like, where do I feel stable? What makes me feel stable? How do I take my authority or whoever is my boss and just work with whatever that is, my own authority, somebody else's authority, and work with it so I can feel like I am in charge of my own life. The Neptune in Aries has a very different vibe in the sense where it can keep us from seeing clearly. It can still keep us from seeing clearly. Neptune will move as it moves further and further into the sign. We have a better chance of seeing some clarity. And so we have that. And then Chiron's also in Aries, that wounded healer. It's been in, I have some allergy stuff going on today. Sorry, guys. Chiron's been in Aries for years now. And it's stirring up. It's being stirred up when all these Aries faster moving planets will come through and make a connection to it. stirring up, your old wounds, your old patterns, your old habits. And all of this is happening before the new moon. So we're in a waning lunar phase, and it's time for us to process. Later today, on the day of the recording, so April 9th, at Eastern time, 3:36 p.m. Eastern, 2:36 for you guys in Central, Mars enters the group. So Mars will then be in Aries. So that means as of this afternoon, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, Sun, Chiron. So there's 5 things in Aries as of this afternoon. And Mars is in its own sign in Aries, and so it's straightforward. There's many ways that we will be engaging in that. And Mars in Aries is fire, and it's taking action, and it's just doing without thinking. It's just, oh, I want to do that. Just think of a child that's already can walk, right? They just go after whatever they want, or a puppy. They just go. That's a very a good way to look at it. That vibe of what Aries is. It's just pure action, and it can be argumentative. It can be stressful. We all know, just watching other astrologers, you will hear that it's definitely fighting and anger and war. But the flip side of that, and I like to hone in on this, I have Mars in Aries, but it's not very accessible to me where it's located in my chart. But Mars in Aries is courage, and the courage to speak up, the courage to take steps forward. So for people who are timid or have felt stuck, Aries pile up, and we're not done yet. We still have Mercury and the moon to come into that sign. We're feeling it gives us an opportunity to be more courageous if we need to, and to feel like we can, like advocate for ourselves, because that Aries is always about me, and myself, nobody else. And it's self-focused, but sometimes we need that. So to use it in a positive way, it's that courage, enlightenment. It's the bravery to take the steps forward, to maybe be a leader. But again, doesn't, that energy, whatever house, if you will, it is in for you, is going to also dictate how you use it. Having 12th house, it's all inner work for me.
Yeah. Well, the planets that are there, can you kind of give us quick keywords for what they do?
I just did.
Okay.
That's what I just did.
Okay.
I just did that. The Mars is in Aries, is in its own sign, so that's all of the action. Okay. The Neptune in Aries can feel a little foggy, even though we still want to take steps forward, right? Okay. And in our spirituality, in the things that, our hopes and our dreams, we could feel like we're ready to take some steps forward. The Saturn in Aries is where we can take our own authority, or if you have a boss that's telling you things to do, it depends. It's always about authority above you or within you, your own wisdom, and taking the steps that work for you. Taking steps forward, whether it's building your own career, whether it's taking steps forward to become an entrepreneur, work with the boss to get a new job. It's like where in any of those things that represent stability, right, coming forward, right? And I talked about the Chiron and the healing. Yes. And then the Sun in Aries is just that the energy of us doing still more of the Aries energy, meaning stepping forward, leading, being courageous, maybe being pissed off and angry about things. Sometimes we need that, and that doesn't come to the surface. And then the last one that comes in before the moon is Mercury. I don't have that date in my head. Give me a second.
It's like Saturday?
Mercury moves in on April 14th.
Okay.
Into Aries. And so when Mercury is in Aries, then we add the vibe of just talking. It's just like listening. It's just like we just blurt out everything. It's like listening to Truth Social. Whatever's on your mind, poof, out it comes. And we all need to be aware of that, because if we're simmering under the surface and we have
Yes, it's
a
not
bone to
a time to go near someone you want to beat the
pick
shit
a
out.
fight with. However, and again, I want us to see that there are useful ways to use this that's not all frightening and anger and war and fighting. If somebody needs to speak up about something and you'll have the courage to do that. And over the days after the April 15th, April 14th, April 15th is when the moon enters Aries. And we're in the balsamic lunar phase. We're not at the new moon yet. So all of this, from the time we're posting this and recording this, all the way through the new moon on April 17th, we're in a waning lunar phase, the last lunar phase of the lunar cycle. And that means that we should be aware of the things that aren't working for us so we can dismiss things. It's just when you, again, just think of being held back for such a long time, and then finally, or you're feeling stuck, and then finally, just when we get to this new moon, you should have cleared a lot of things out of your life. If that's what you're experiencing right now, you would have cleared a lot of things so you can feel fresh and new. Like, I don't know, having the new moons at the end of a zodiac sign gives us weeks and weeks of the sun moving through that sign and stirring up whatever that vibe is. Again, the vibe is the Aries. And so, yeah, we have this opportunity to let a lot of things go, to process a lot of stuff, and just say, I'm done. Good. Wash my hands of it. And if you like doing ritual that is writing and stuff like that, make sure, and in a safe container, in a safe place, burn your stuff to release, because Aries is fire. So it's just really important to be able to
I've done that a few times. It's amazing. I'm just thinking help. Okay. For everybody who didn't see it before, here it is. We're trying a poll today. We're going to try this. And so if you don't want to chitter chatter or talk or gossip with us in the chat, what you can do is you can push the numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4. And it says, be honest. How are you handling Aries fire? Charging ahead without thinking is 1. 2 is taking bold, confident action. 3 is trying to stay balanced, and 4 is avoiding the chaos completely. And I'm the person who voted for 4. I'm saying, okay, I'm not going to allow chaos in my life. I'm just going to move ahead, not going to let it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there trying to scare people.
They are. Yeah. Well, I mean, it certainly doesn't help, that we're blowing up countries. That certainly doesn't help. And that's really appropriate for all of that Aries energy. And that is a very low vibrational way of using the Aries energy. But people are going to do that. It's just the way it is. We have no option. But anybody listening, it's our choice how we want to use this energy. But if you're feeling angry and upset about something, then use it in a productive way, as productive as possible for you, so you don't get hurt, other people don't get hurt. That Mercury and Aries, we're going to say stuff to people that is not great, especially the closer it gets to other planets, Chiron. And once Mercury gets into Aries, who's the faster? The moon will move through all of the planets. And when we get to that new moon on the 17th, it's right with Chiron. And that new moon at 27 Aries, Chiron, I think, is like at 26 something. It's just a few minutes before. That means we have an opportunity to really let things go. Because when the sun and the moon make the exact conjunction to Chiron is before the new moon, balsamic lunar phase, surrendering, just letting some things go. Sometimes we just have to let things go because there is no solution. And the only thing you keep trying to do is it just makes you madder and more angry. And so sometimes we do have to let go. And for other people, we will find the courage and the bravery. I want us just to really stay in that space of what this Mars and Aries is about, stay in that space. Well, Mars and Aries, I mean, all of these planets in Aries is what I meant to say. And it gives us that opportunity to go higher with this, be
Yeah.
better than.
Somebody
Yeah.
here, Catherine T, that explains exactly how I was feeling on Monday and Tuesday. I released a lot of anger and irritation.
Terrific.
And Catherine's in a place in her life where she has reason to be angry with people.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, and see, on Monday and Tuesday, April 6 and 7 is what she's referring to. Even though we had Saturn and Neptune and the Sun and Chiron were in Aries on those 2 days, the moon in the sky was in a fire sign. And when planets are in similar elements, the same element, I mean, it can stir things up. And the moon on those days, those 2 days, was Sagittarius. And
Thank
so
you, Kirsten.
oh, that's nice.
That's
So
wonderful.
it was very much part of that whole day where you could just say, oh, whew, release, because we do get to pick our battles, you know.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of things in people's lives. I mean, this isn't that's not certainly not a blanket statement for every situation. So people can definitely understand that, because there are times when us defending ourselves and you know, just really feeling like we need to fight for stuff is necessary, you know. But
there's somebody who follows you, Dorothy, who says she's been using the 5 calls to ask silly Congress people to enact the 25th Amendment. Actually, you should ask them about the Second Amendment, which allows them to remove the entire executive branch that is allowing him to move us that way. But that's another show. Dorothy and I don't do those kinds of shows, but it's
well, we get it though. But we understand. I understand. There's a lot of, no matter what you pay attention to, we can see this very negative energy around these Aries planets, just all of them slowly piling up between now and the new moon on the 17th of April. And that video is out there too. That video will be out there at the top of the hour from when we're doing this live. So it'll be 3 o'clock. I have it ready to launch the new moon forecast, which covers a lot more of this too. So there's 2 videos out there you'll be able to watch on my channel about this. And you know,
and if you don't, if you can go and you can listen to us about Aries or Taurus or whatever all the time. But if you don't have your own chart and you don't know where this is hitting you in your life, which includes understanding what house Aries is in my case, it's 5th and 6th.
Yeah, mine's all the 12th house. I've intercepted Aries in my 12th. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so if you want to know what those terms mean, those terms actually have a real meaning. And if you do, I'm not saying go take the world's longest course. I'm saying get your own chart. No, I have a beginner
course. I have a beginner course on my website that gets you through 5 of the pillars of beginner astrology. It's all on your own pace. I've recorded it. You get workbooks, you get all of it. And so that is on my website if you want to do that. And I'm prepping to create another live class, because Sunday coming up is my last class of a 12-week course that I just am completing. And you can do all of that. But I mean, you don't have to learn astrology. You can just, you know, call and have a session. But, you know, and the astrology that we talk about in these types of forecasts, and you guys should know this by now, a lot of you are regulars, you know, it's like watching the weather. You know, it's like sometimes the weather is going to be bad and sometimes it's good, and you just prepare for it. And sometimes it impacts you more than it impacts somebody else who just lives on the other side of town. But, you know, we're all different. And so, like I said, when we're talking about the transits and this energy of charging ahead and feeling bold and confident, or trying to stay balanced and reading your things, or just avoiding things completely, I mean, it can't be a blanket statement for everybody. Like I said, it's just for this. Why we have options. You know,
my natal chart has no planets in Aries, so could this affect me or anyone else that's like this.
It will affect everybody on some way and some level, like I just said. But if you don't have to have planets in Aries for this to not impact you or to impact you or to influence you. There's just so much there. There's so much, 7 planets in Aries, the sun and the moon and Chiron. We'll call
They're
them
all
7
scrunched
planets.
in there. They're all
They're
scrunched
all,
in there.
it's just been, I've never seen that many in that one sign all at the same time. It's just been,
Mhm.
it's just really dynamic. And it's, if you go very, super woo woo on this, it's a big opportunity for all of us to launch ourselves
Change.
into something fresh and new,
Mhm.
something big and something fresh and new. But we have to let go of old thoughts and old ways of thinking, because we do
Mhm.
have Chiron and Aries there. And while it's a personal wounds that we need to heal from, those are things that hold us back.
Mhm.
And we have this opportunity now for things to move forward. It's really important.
Catherine's going to schedule a meeting with you, Dorothy, and
That
I will
sounds
put up
fabulous. Appreciate that.
banners and how to connect to Dorothy. That's how you can connect to Dorothy.
Yes, it's fine. It should be on my face, but I don't know but I don't see it right now, but that's fine. It's just my name, DorothyMorganAstrologer.com. But I want to use this. I have Mars and Aries in the 12th house, and so I don't get mad. And if I try to get mad, I always get my ass handed to me. So I'm not aggressive. I'm not a big leader. I lead from behind the scenes. I take charge from behind the scenes. That's
Yeah.
and that's because that's where my Aries is. It's in house 12 for me, all of it, because I use the Placidus house system. I don't use whole sign houses.
Mhm.
Placidus is it has more details to it. So I like to use it's a different house system. It's the math. It's why when you look at your chart from one place or another, the numbers on the house cusps are different. It's that.
Mhm.
It's the detail that's important. But
But
we pay attention to those things. And
well,
I
I
like
was
it.
talking to somebody today, and I was talking about. She's actually in the chat. We were talking about that you were going to be on, and I was talking to her about what I was doing, and
Mhm.
I told her. She said, "I don't think I've ever known an Aries." Well, my sister was an Aries, and she was pretty much the push you out of the way punk kind of person. But I dated an Aries between my marriages, and he was my most fun, let's just go play
That's
date
perfect.
person. He and he could be so irritating because it was his my way or the highway was basically how he wanted things.
Mhm.
And I remember one Mother's Day, I'd had a particularly distressing spring with him. So it
Mhm.
got to be Mother's Day, and I was looking, he deserves a Mother's Day card because he's the biggest mother I know. So,
Mother with an F.
yeah, of course, more on the mother than on the card. And
Yeah,
I dropped it off to him, and he called me up and he was roaring with laughter. And
yeah,
he said,
that's
"Oh my
perfect.
God, I can't believe you." And I said,
Mhm.
"Well, it fits." And so I was telling her that story, and she was laughing, and she said, "I don't know about what you've been like when you were out there dating." And I said, "No, I don't know what I was like either, but
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's amazing. But use it in a positive way, guys. Use it in a courageous way, and just use it in a fun and in a childlike fashion too.
mhm.
Just tap back into that sweet innocence of Aries. Little kids.
Yeah, he
They
was
just
my best
yeah,
playmate.
yeah.
I worked for the airline and I could fly anywhere in the country, and he worked as a landman and he was flying all
Mhm.
over the country. So we used to meet for long weekends, and it was just so much fun to be anywhere with him.
Yeah.
He was the life of the party, and you didn't have to take charge, and it was just sort of fun. Although he could be extremely irritating. And when he did come and ask me to marry him, which I had never thought he would do, I didn't know
Wow.
what to do, so I laughed. And about 3 days later, he showed back up with everything that might have ever been of mine in his house. So
Yeah.
I would never have a reason to come shadow his doorstep again. And anyway, it went
Mhm.
on from there. But yeah, no, marrying him would have been more of a disaster than dating him.
Yeah.
There are those things. And I did that without a chart, Dorothy. I just intuited it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you can tell some of those vibes that are really feisty.
Mhm.
Feisty. But again, I think we can use this just in a playful way, and
Mhm.
just do something you've never done before. Just go explore something you've never seen before. I mean, you know how just amazing it is when a little kid picks up a frog or a lizard and they're like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And just discover,
Mhm.
it's where things are from. Discovery, the Aries vibe. It's really nice like that. I think it's important. But
Well,
all right.
I'm going to take the poll away right now since everybody who's in the room's had a chance to see it. Vote 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Mhm.
we'll look at it later. It's just something new that StreamYard gave us to play with, so I thought I'd try.
Nice. 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 Nice.
And so,
Yeah.
I mean,
So ask yourself what needs to be released if you
mhm,
haven't quite figured out what we're talking about. Work with that. Work with yourself and just, sit down. It's like, oh, what do I need to release? I mean, something that's really,
what?
pissing me off. How can I let go of an old grudge?
Hmm.
Things like that. And just prepare as we move through now through the new moon, which is a whole week, like 10 days away,
Hmm.
12, whatever it is. It's a week or so away. And it gives you that chance to just clear the space, clear the deck. A
Yeah,
seacoast, a seacoast, like seacoast comment. Just clear the deck of anything that doesn't need to be there anymore, and give you that space.
yeah. I'm teaching a tarot class, and last night we are doing shadow work.
Mhm.
Doing 3 card readings, and the one everybody did because everybody was on the inner critic they have in them and how does it block them.
Yeah.
And that's basically what they were getting. And all of them were saying, oh, that's really what I need to do. I need to let go of that. I need to quit
Mhm.
being so hard on myself about that and
Yeah.
just walk into it with a different mind space. And that's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. Yeah. That's important. I like that. I like it that we can do that. And what else is there? Like to throw a bucket of water on some people these days that are creating a lot of stress in the
yeah,
world.
true. It's true. I'd like to throw more than a bucket of water on them, but
So true. Let's get some water in there. But anyways.
I was
So
talking
mhm.
I was
Go ahead.
talking with Sean, who's my son that's a political consultant,
Yes.
and he said when we were talking about the ceasefire, he said, "Oh, I give it 14 hours." He said
Yeah.
he said I'm sad. It was only lasted 13 hours, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and when you're my age, things didn't happen that rapidly.
No. No, they didn't. Because
And that kind of is so for the younger ones that are hopefully some younger ones are in this or some younger ones will watch this later in the day. Um, uh, well, somebody said this is a true statement. A bucket of water is less bad karma than a bomb. That's
yeah,
true.
that's true, Sandra.
And
And let's what else do we have? We have Saturn and Mars when they come together
mhm.
because Mars enters Aries today and then Mercury on the 15th on the 14th.
That ends the retrograde, right?
No, all the retrogrades are done.
Oh, okay.
We're done until May 6th when Pluto goes direct. Yeah, we're already done. The
With
retrogrades. We're
Mercury.
in. Yeah, Mercury was done. Gosh, over a week ago. When was it? Mercury was done. It's retrograde on. I got it right here. It was done. It's retrograde on the 26th. I mean, nope, wrong date. On the 20th of March. So it was done when the day that the sun entered Aries. So we've already had weeks and weeks of no retrogrades. But throughout the week to 2 weeks after this pile up on the 15th and then the new moon, we'll have Mercury come through and make its conjunction to all the different planets that are in
Mhm.
Aries, and Mars will come through and do the same thing. So it takes until early July before we have all of the faster moving planets out of Aries. And what will remain will just be Chiron, Saturn, and Neptune. And so I think it's like July 6 or 7 when Mars finally moves into Taurus, because it takes 7 weeks to move through that sign. So basically what that tells me is over the next 7 weeks, this is a little bit longer story, as Mars in its own sign, the warrior, though it's Athena too, Pallas Athena, the warrior goddess, the warrior, and we all will have these options of using this Mars as it slowly moves through the sign in in various ways. You know, when Mars, especially when it connects with Saturn, Mars and Saturn together in the sign of Aries, it can feel like there's a lot of pressure,
right,
to do something and to accomplish something. I can't remember what the date is for those two to come together. I do weekly forecasts over on Patreon, by the way, guys, and membership platform on YouTube as well. And I go through these things every single week. And while there's a lot of verbiage around the words that we're using, the astrology verbiage, I still tell you how to use it like we're doing today. Mars, Saturn come together on April 19th. Just before the sun enters Taurus. So the sun will be at 29 degrees of Aries, and Saturn and Mars will be conjunct in Aries. And that is a lot of pressure. There is something that will go on very big at that time frame where pressure will build and then it will release. Now, that sounds volatile. And I can't say it's volatile, but it is pressure that's building. And we know it's just like watching a volcano getting ready to erupt. You have the earthquakes, you know it's going to happen eventually. But it's not sudden like the Uranus stuff, which is like a rug pulling out from under us. So if you're feeling pressure from today, especially through the 19th when Mars is coming to Saturn, don't resist the tension. Don't keep building on the tension. Like move into it and through it. Whatever is creating more and more stress, it's important to activate it and move it as best you can, whatever the situation is, if that even comes up to you. Because this will help us strip through some of those boundaries and some of the blockages and the boundaries that we set for ourselves. So Mars moving through where Saturn is will help us to break those boundaries down. But it also gives us a lot of determination to push through something. If anybody's had a baby, it's like that last, that last piece of pushing through. You're exhausted, but you're determined just to get through that last piece. And that's what that looks like too. So it can be very helpful.
Okay. I'm going to show you guys the poll we're taking, those who joined us late. This is be honest. How are you handling all this fire in Aries and charging ahead without thinking? That was my old boyfriend. Taking bold, confident action. 3 is trying to stay balanced. And 4 is avoiding the chaos completely. And I'm the voting 4, guys.
You can't do it. You can't avoid it. I'm sorry.
Well, I can try.
You can try. That's true. That's true. Yes, you can try.
Hi, Vicky. Vicky showed up. Oh, Dorothy, I ran into an old friend of yours.
Me?
Yes, Sabrina. And she said, oh, you know Dottie? And I said, no, I know Dorothy.
Yep.
And she said, well, when
in
I know
person?
No, she did a show. She did a thing, and she had people on that have stuff they do that they sell. And she had on some women who were authors of romance novels. Who knew? And I talked about my grids and stuff, but she had about 7 or 8 people, and she had Nath from that's on a lot. He's a reader, but he's on with astrologers. He lives in Portugal. He created a tarot deck that's all saints.
Oh, nice.
So it was interesting.
And so Sabrina is she the host or was she a guest?
She set it up.
Oh, I'm going to have to.
She and I are going to do something together. So
Well, she should get in touch with me. Yeah, I met her when I first started as an astrologer here in New Hampshire. It's when I first started studying back in the late 80s.
Yeah, she talks like a person from New Hampshire, but she
Yeah.
lives on the West Coast now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember when she moved. I remember it was a lot of years ago, but we've known each other probably since 1990.
Woo! Digging up the old friends.
Uh-oh. We worked out at the same gym. We had the same astrology teacher. Yeah.
Oh, really?
The works. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice, nice. That's great. I have to get in touch with her. I think we're friends on Facebook. That's so funny. Awesome.
Anyway,
Anybody else have a story about how they're feeling with these?
with the Aries, you have a question about feeling with Aries, like a question with us about how you can handle it. I'll throw a couple cards. I'm not opposed to doing that.
Okay.
So we're getting up. We got 40 whole folks watching us, Dorothy.
Nice. I don't know where I'm at with my channel. I'll go back.
You've got three from your channel, and
woohoo!
I think I saw one person said that. Well, I know Carrie from Vermont. She's somebody I've taught tarot to. Other things that are going on in my world that I'll just put out there because a lot of my people watch later. I'm in we're going into the 5th week of a 6-week tarot class, and then after the tarot class, I'm going to have open readings. I'm going to have 3 nights where anybody I have taught how to read can come over and join us and practice.
Nice.
Okay, Vicki. Okay, we got a question. We got an astrology question. All my sun and moon and rising are in cardinal signs. What should I look out for that in this energy?
Taking action. Taking action. Cardinal is about taking action. So it depends on what element it is, but we're talking about the fire sign of Aries. That's the first cardinal sign is the Aries, and it's about taking action. And so if depending on the degrees of these things, at some point they'll be activated. But if it's Cancer, then it's about taking action around caring, nurturing, and feeling. That means this Aries pileup is squaring that. So it creates tension. So you need to pay attention to how you're feeling. If it's in an opposition, that means that's the Libra is the next one. That's air. So you're going to be thinking about and processing. It's like trying to stay balanced. It's like it's very much out of balance right now with so much in the sign of Aries. That means Libra. It's like, what can I do for others or what other people need from me? That really takes a back seat because there's so much in Aries. It's like a seesaw in the old days, but you got somebody that's 300 pounds and you got a little kid. The Aries beats it all out. And so it's about processing. The Libra is an Aries sign. I mean, is a cardinal air sign. So it's about communicating and processing and thinking through. And then the other cardinal sign is Earth. It's Capricorn, it's Earth sign, and that this Aries energy is making another 90-degree angle over to that energy. And that's about, well, I know I feel grounded and solid, but this Aries energy is saying that I need to take some action or be brave to do something spontaneous, because the cardinal Earth is very grounded and it's not necessarily spontaneous. But that's also Saturn. Saturn rules air, rules Capricorn. So
that's what makes us all individuals.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. If we can.
Sandra, an Aries, I always felt more like a Pisces. Taurus rising, Scorpio moon, Scorpio Mars. Probably the Pisces part's coming out all that Scorpio on your chart, girl.
Yeah. And it just depends. I would have to, we can't do that without looking at the chart, because there could be something in Pisces that's there.
Right.
Could be a north node, south node, because, that Pisces is there, but it's water. And so, there's no way to know. Scorpio moon, Taurus rising, very earthy. So your sun sign is Aries. So that because that means the Aries is in your 12th house. My Aries is in my 12th house too, because I have Taurus rising. Scorpio moon, Scorpio Mars. Yeah, so that Scorpio energy is a lot of water and can be very obsessively focused on how you're feeling and how other people are feeling. And it's more like that. So the Pisces, I can't explain it without looking at your chart. So
yeah, That's
Um,
why we
yeah.
need to get our charts done,
Yeah,
children.
this in the Scorpio, the words you used at the end of that sentence, moving into despair, those are more Scorpio
Yeah.
keywords as opposed to the Pisces. The Pisces feels everything and knows no boundaries. But with that Taurus rising, it put a damper on that.
Yeah.
So,
Earlier this week, I was definitely in my Scorpio side.
oh
That's
yeah,
my rising sign too. And I was sitting there, and all these planets are moving in, and my rising sign is 29 degrees of Scorpio. So, I mean, it's like 28.6 minutes or something.
oh, that's so hard when it's. I find that is. I'm going to say it's hard, and I don't want to judge because I don't want people to say, "Oh, I got stuff at 29," and Dorothy says it's bad. I don't want anybody to take that out of what I'm saying. I have a planet at 29, but lots of times when we have something, especially an angle, but the rising sign at
Mhm.
29, I mean, it's meant to be really intense. But if your mom had took an extra breath and not pushed, you would have had the next zodiac
I know,
sign
I would have been
on
in the
the,
next sign.
you know,
But
and so
and there's a synchronicity that goes with that. No one could figure out how I got along with my theoretical math physicist husband. We got
yeah.
along really well for the most part. I mean, we thought the same way. There's so many things about us. When I finally got him to sit down to have his chart done,
Mhm.
his ascendant and mine were exactly the same.
Jesus. And I love that for couples because in couple astrology, which is called synastry,
Mhm.
if you as a person, you guys have the house cusps lined up it's
Mhm.
very similarly, especially the same sign and close to the same numbers. I'm not using whole sign houses, that does not count. But that means the planets in the sky are moving through the same sector
Mhm.
as same house as your partner. So even though you have your own charts and your own filters of how you experience life, the planet, say Saturn moving through house number 2, you both will experience, some reassessment of your true values, your income, building financial security, etc., at the same time. That's just an example of
Mhm.
one planet moving through one house. But if you're both experiencing that at the same time, that makes couples like really in sync, even
Yeah.
though there are other things that cause the
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, we were born. He's 20 years older than I was, and he was a child of war. He grew up in London during the bombings.
Oh, stressful.
And, so he had some leftover stuff from that. Woo.
I
You
would
talk
think
about
so.
shadow work. Okay. I'm an Aquarius, Scorpio, Moon, Libra rising. The energies these last couple of weeks have been making her crazy.
Well, Pluto's in Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
And so at some point, that's going to affect her sun over the next decade or so. Depends on what number it is. And again, that Scorpio moon is very deep and intensely felt, right? Um, Jupiter is in the sky, is in Cancer, so it's in a water sign. So by sign, only by sign, not by numbers, it's activating the Scorpio because they're both water, and so that would stir that up too. Same thing for the other person. And the Libra rising just means that Aries is on the other side of the chart. So Aries is in probably house 6 and or 7, and that's stirring up the partnerships and the relationships.
Yeah.
So
That's
it
where it's
continues
hitting.
on. Yeah, it
Okay.
continues on. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh, here we
Okay.
are.
Helene Robinson. I've got another one in here.
Aquarius, moon in
Uh,
Cancer.
Aquarius,
With the moon
Moon
in
in
Cancer,
Cancer, my
Libra
skin,
rising.
and the administration. It wouldn't matter where the hell any of your planets were; they would make your
Mhm.
skin crawl.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, being in Aquarius, again, Pluto is in that sign now, has been off and on since 2024,
Mm-hmm.
but it's there to stay now. Um, so you're already a person who can overthink things. Pluto will come through at some point and help you to reevaluate what that is somewhere in a matter of 17 years. So we
Mm-hmm.
can't go any further than that without having your chart. And The moon in Cancer, again, is incredibly sensitive
That's
and
where my moon is.
very
You're also,
feeling
though,
and very sensitive.
Helene, you're also a good cook. I've
Yeah.
always heard moon in Cancer is a good cook.
Moon in Taurus too. Moon in Taurus too. And then the Libra rising, it's just like that, it's very
Okay.
much at the end.
This is what Dorothy doesn't want to do. She doesn't want to make you afraid because you're 29 degrees of Taurus. We need to see the whole chart. Need to know what that means. But it just means you picked a very special point on the charts to have your sun show up.
Yeah, the 29th degree of any zodiac sign just it creates more intensity. All right. So think of it like this. You just go to the coffee shop or whatever and just have a regular coffee, but instead you add a couple of shots of espresso. Intense. It's coffee. It's intense. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research on what Taurus means to you. I mean, it's about grounding and it's about what you value, what you love. It's good for, you might be somebody who loves to do gardening and stick your hands in the dirt, or somebody who says no and loves all the beautiful things. You can go either way. When any planet is at the final degree or a house cusp, it just means that it is super intense for what it is. And we have planets Uranus is at 29 degrees of Taurus right now in the sky. So that Taurus is stubborn and fixed. And, with Uranus there, it's really asking you to make some changes.
Yeah.
Really see where you can change. Yeah.
I dyed my hair purple on the day that Uranus went into Taurus.
It was in 2018.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I know it was.
Cycle for a long time. Here's another one. Don't know the details. I'm going to do a quick reading for her on her job search.
Here, I'll read this. Cancer, don't know details, nurse here. Perfect. Cancer is somebody who mothers and cares for others, whether it's, whether you push your own kids out or you take care of others, it's the same thing. On a job search, yes, the energy is off. Yep, better now, but awful last few months. Fish, orange, wide eyes. What?
I have no idea. I think it may have been emoji she was trying to put up.
Oh, that's so
I hate
good.
it when they write those. I'm going, that makes sense.
What the heck is that? That's my first experience with an emoji that was written out.
Oh, God. They happen to me all the time. You got the page of cups. So you got some things offering, and you are in a state of temperance.
Yeah.
And I see 9 of cups means you're going to get what you want. But
cups hold water. Cups hold water. Cancer's a water sign too.
They're healing. They're healing. So, but the way I saw that 9 is it's either going to be 9 weeks or September before the job market opens up for you.
Yeah. 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 And again, the planet Jupiter is right now at 16 degrees of Cancer. But since we don't know any other details, which, we don't have them, and that's fine. Jupiter has been in your sign of Cancer since June of 2025. And will be in that sign until the last day of June in 2026. Okay. So there's the date. What does that mean? That means anybody who has planets in Cancer, other signs too, but Cancer especially, it's exacerbating. That sounds like a negative word, but it's exacerbating how you feel about what is going on in your life.
It's sensitizing you. It's sensitizing you to
so much so. It's just making how you feel even bigger. And so it's our jobs with however we like. I mean, to me, outside nature, even though it has been cold and windy and snowy for 6-7 months now here in New Hampshire. I just can't wait for a warm day. We're going to have a warm day soon.
Yeah, Dorothy and I were sharing
our weather.
We're under a tornado watch for 3 days, which is all kinds of fun since we know the government sort of closed down the people that watch that. So I found a couple of them YouTube channels that if you give them your phone number, they will call you and say there's something in your area. So
yeah, they'll send you an alert. I know. And we had snow here in New Hampshire. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's going to be, it's today right now. It's like in 56. So yeah.
Breaks. I don't know if that's fair because you get a break and you think, oh, it's gone. And then it's not.
Let me tell you, I've been wearing this heavy sweater thing for forever.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my little light scarfy thing.
Yeah, I haven't felt hot in a long time.
My son is an Aries. His birthday's on the 11th.
On Saturday. Well, happy birthday.
So he's in the middle of all this.
Yep. Yep, he is. He is. But, the moon will be in Aquarius, so that'd be nice on his birthday. Actually varies. You never know exactly. But the Aquarius moon on that day, do a solar return chart. It's just a birthday chart for the year. It gives us a little bit of a theme for the process for the year ahead. But with the moon in Aquarius, it's about being thinking and analytical and as well as being social with groups and friends. So
right. Okay. And 3 shifting veils. My sun is in Aries and my moon is in Virgo. I was told that's why I'm a mess. No.
I don't like when people do that. The sun in Aries, that's fine. You're learning. What our sun sign is, we're learning about that. We might not even be good at it. You're learning to be assertive, maybe aggressive or assertive for a reason. There's a reason for it. I can't tell you what that is without looking. But, you're meant to be a leader of some sort. And again, you don't have to say, I'm going to get up in front of people and be like Tony Robbins and lead like big groups. You can do that. You don't have to. You can just be local. But the Virgo moon is somebody who's very detail oriented. But you can be a mess with that Virgo moon, because that Virgo moon, sometimes you just get so one track mind that everything else falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
But you still know where everything is and you still pay attention. And Virgo moon people are, you guys spend a lot of time honing in, or you should be, on your health, your wellness, how things are in your day-to-day job, your day-to-day activities, and really honing in on that. And we have the eclipses have been in Pisces and Virgo this year. So
yeah, and she's been shifting her life.
There's a lot of shifts. And so you have to go follow the path of least resistance when there's so much shifting sand.
Organized chaos.
Absolutely. That's exactly what life is, isn't it? I haven't said that in a while, because I have said that before, but that's a good one. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, well, this lady had a fun deal. Thanks for telling me that. I appreciate it. I had to get out of previous job. Patient's mom was drinking and drugging. Oh, that's always fun.
Wow.
Got out fast, kind of unexpected, away from her chaos. Well, you did the right thing, Lisa.
Yeah.
You cannot deal with that kind of chaos in your life. And okay, I'm going to pull. Which one am I going to pull? I'm going to pull Wisdom from the Fairies. This is one of my favorite decks. And people have written me and said, how can I find that deck? You can't. A friend of mine gave it to me. It was something that a person who owned a rock store near where her sister used to live had designed 20 years ago, and she had a few left. But isn't it pretty?
Oh, nice. Gentle Wisdom of the Fairy Realm. Nice.
Okay, so we're going to pull out a card. And these have been really good for me recently. I mean, they've been very accurate to where I felt we needed to go.
Yeah. Nice.
I pull my Yuletide tarot, but it's got snow scenes in it.
I'll start with that. Instead of pulling cards, I walk around my office once in a while, because I've been collecting stones forever, and I've got this one. I can't remember what it's called.
Celestite.
Celestite. I don't know anything about it, though. It's a blue. They call it an angel rock, I guess, or something.
Yeah, that's why it's Celestite, or it can be called Celestine. It's for calming you down. It's for bringing in pleasure and warmth.
All right, calming me down it is.
And today we got floating.
Oh, nice. Nice. So what does that tell us? That's air. If, in my opinion, that would be air energy.
Let me get to the description, and I will tell you.
Okay.
Floating. Here's your image. Floating around can be fun for a while. It gives us new perspectives when we're not sure which way to go. So it's saying being free flowing.
Okay.
Be sure to be balanced and comfortable about when you're where you're being taken. if you don't feel good about your direction, get off. So it's saying if you're riding on a bubble and you're floating around, as long as this feels good and comfortable, it gives you a chance to have a new perspective. But if you're floating somewhere and you see it's floating into something you don't want to be part of, get off.
There you go. Be careful, don't wear anything sharp.
Yeah, that too.
Pop that
Well,
bubble.
it's been lovely. Thank you for coming.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to tell you guys one more time. You can show the poll, and nobody's changing almost without thinking. Good for you. Taking bold and assertive actions. None of us are going to be the bull out there trying to charge into this stuff.
Yeah.
Most of us appear of the people who chose to vote. Now you can still vote if you're if you're watching the chat. Just push the number 1, 2, 3, 4 for whichever yours are, and I appreciate it. I've never done this before. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. But love to everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I'm just checking out.
Yep.
Awesome.
You're all saying
thank you, everybody. Come to my site, come to my channel, and
please
check out all those videos because they're up now.
Magical Mermaid went 3. She's seeking balance.
There you go. Good job.
Oh, this is a nice thought for us. Thanks for giving us hope and how to cope.
I love it. Perfect. Yay. We did our job.
Okay. With that, we're going to end this stream because that's the best we can do. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye, guys.